Well, the group started because the Mozart Festival chorus people thought it would be fun to sing not just in the summer but all year long. And Gary had come up here probably 5 years before that, Gary and Pat. And so decided to start the Vocal Arts Ensemble. And so we started it about, I think it was the fall of 1977. And he asked me if I would accompany the group. And I thought about it, and I decided, since I also direct a church choir without the benefit of very much formal training in choir directing, that I could learn a lot from Gary Lamprecht. I had a lot of respect for him as a choral director. And so in 1977 I started accompanying him, and I'm still learning from Gary because he's always learning. He goes to seminars and conferences and brings back ideas, and I think he's still approaching it with excitement and new ideas, so I stay. And over the years we've done some wonderful music. He's very courageous about what kind of repertoire we'll do, and sometimes I look at it and think, oh, we'll never pull this off, but we do. And audiences appreciate that variety and all of the effort. And, I don't think audiences necessarily realize how much time everyone puts in, but the group, I think, treats each other with respect because of it.
Vocal arts has just been the most amazing kind of thing for me and for the rest of my family, that it's been an extremely influential part of my life, and we've based a lot of our life around vocal arts. You, Gary, are probably one of the most talented, gifted, demanding, all those things that go with being artistic kind of person I've ever met. You seem to pull out the best from all of us, even when there's not a lot of good there. We're grateful to you for Kari and for Jens and for Roy. Thanks, Gary.
Hi, Gary. I remember the first time we heard the Vocal Arts. David and I were in the mission, and y'all were singing Saul. And it was so weird, and about that time a fire engine came by and this dog started howling, and we said, what a choir, they're such good singers, it's such a weird song that the whole earth has gotten weird. We decided we had to sing with you right away. We're glad we did.
Others have shared that same feeling of, I'll never get in, and I would never be able to sing with that group. And I don't know, some luck, somebody was looking over my shoulder, and when I got into vocal arts, it was really a thrill in my life. We've had some wonderful times together, and relationships and friendships, and well, what can I say? It's just like a big family.
I have enjoyed so much singing with vocal arts. It's been a real high point for me. And I want to say to Gary that he is getting praise through me. I've heard so many people say that I'm a better director at my church because of singing with vocal arts. However, my salary hasn't been adjusted to that degree as yet, but I'm waiting for that. So thank you so much, Gary, and thank you everyone in vocal arts for being so warm and friendly and accepting.
Oh, why I joined vocal arts? Probably because I love to sing, and I sing everywhere. I sing in the car, I sing in the shower, and it was nice to know that there was some kind of an organization that did that. And for me, it's been a great experience. I've loved it. I've learned a lot more about music than I ever knew, a lot more about singing that I never knew, and I sing with, just so many nice people, and it's been a great experience. I really loved it.
Great.
Really loved it. Looking forward to many more years of it too.
When I started to play cello with the vocal arts, it was early 80s, I should think. And it was just another gig. And when the tour in 85 came around and we went on the tour, I felt that even though I was an instrumentalist in this group, it would be real easy to get involved in this group. I didn't know how. I wasn't a singer. And when they decided to tour in 88 and there was a chance that I could go as a singer, that was, why not give it a try? I had nothing to lose, as Gary said, and indeed I didn't. And that just kind of opened another door. At this point I've been a musician for 35 years, it's hard to say, and always as an instrumentalist. And this has really opened another door in music to me, being able to have my instrument within me and have it in my heart instead of on a piece of paper. It's meant quite a lot, and Gary has brought that to me, and I really appreciate that.
I try out for this, so we both went in there, and then I found out she was an alto too, and he never let altos in. And
Well, he let me in. I was an alto.
We went in, but that was when he was first starting. He was really desperate.
No,
Yeah,
there was
desperate when
no.
you took
Well,
his
go
place.
ahead. Tell your story.
Okay, so Mara and I tried out. She tried out ahead of me, and she had this voice that she did her little solo thing. We had to try out this little solo thing, and it like boomed miles away. I could hear her from miles away. And then I went in there, and I was soft and scared and everything, But then I read this little thing that he had. He had this little sheet about his philosophy of music.
Oh no!
And
Don't tell me.
and his
Touchy-feely back then, huh?
touchy-feely stuff, philosophy on music, and when I tried out, I really didn't care whether or not I got into the group or not. But after I read that sheet, I really wanted to be a part of it.
You lusted after the vocal arts.
I wanted to be a part of it.
Well, did you get in?
Yes, I did.
Ha! Boy, you had it pretty easy. I mean, Prudy Lovetang one day at school took me. I was teaching Los Osos, and she said, "Phyllis, there's this group I sing with, and are you posing?"
Prudy Lovetang. You said the Prudy one.
Prudy Lovetang. She said, "Let me call Gary. Maybe you could audition." And I said, "Well, Gary who?" And she said, "Well, he's just the director." And so she came back in 10 minutes and said, "You're going to sing tonight at 5 o'clock. I said, "What do I do?" She says, "You just go in there and you sing something." So I went and he played some things on the piano, and I was supposed to mimic him, Well, I could do that. And then I sang "What'll I Do?" And he says, "Sing anything but God Bless America or Mary Had a Little Lamb or Row the Boat Ashore or Happy Birthday." So I sang that, and the next thing I know, not only was I in, within 2 months I was treasurer, and I was supposed to pay all the bills. And then after that, my husband became the manager.
No.
Yeah.
Your husband?
Yeah, and then he had to wear a tuxedo.
No.
Yes.
Did he have to pay for it?
Yes.
Church. Boston Parish Church in Boston, England. And they asked if we knew Amazing Grace before the meal they had prepared for us, and Gary said sure, and we all looked at each other because we'd never done it before, at least vocal arts hadn't, and we started singing, and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, came this multi-part harmony that all flowed together. It was an absolute electric moment, and the thing about it that really touched me was just a couple of weeks before we had been working on one of the concert pieces that we had sung a zillion times, and Gary said, "I want you to sing this as though you've never heard it before." And I was frustrated because how can we sing a song like we've never heard it before when we've memorized it and sung it a zillion times?
And all of a sudden, here we sang Amazing Grace as if we'd never heard it before because we hadn't. And that was just an electric moment. Probably my favorite. Great sense of humor that draws in the choir during rehearsals and the audience in concerts. And sometimes I think he's just a one-man cartoon show. He's just really great that way. And he hasn't changed in 20 years that I can tell. Not one gray hair, and I'm 3 years younger than he is, and I've got zillions of them.
Gary is so sharp. I mean, he just the most incredible. Really, I think he's the best vocal conductor I've ever sung under or in front of. And I mean, no kidding. I really believe that. And as smart as he is, his memory isn't altogether that great, as I was just telling you. He announced at the concert that you guys just did that we sang with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir in Moscow, and it was Warsaw. I know, I was there. Okay, it was Warsaw.
Yeah, they cried, but we kept on singing anyway.
I would have to say that I can't believe it's that much of an anniversary for vocal arts. As far as I'm concerned, it's just started. But what a wonderful group that it is that it's been around for this length of time. Thanks to everyone.
Gary's energy in starting this group, his vision, and all the dedication he put into it have been incredible. We were there at the beginning and saw how hard it was. Now it's such a huge success. Gary should be very proud.
Gary Lamprecht, in my opinion, is one of the most gifted teachers that I've ever known about. And we're so lucky to have him stay in our community because with his talent, he could have gone on to bigger and better things a long time ago. So, happy to have him.
Gary who?
His impact on my life has been tremendous, continuing to guide me through music and get me started. Now as I move on, I will always remember what he's offered me and given to me, and he will always remain a very, very significant part of my life. Gary, as I leave, I will miss you tremendously. Congratulations on your achievement of 20 years with vocal arts. The results are very much impressive. I'll miss you. Take care.
Gary and Vocal Arts, congratulations on 20 years of wonderful music making. We're so proud of your group here in our town. And Gary, you got to try this. You know, it's good exercise and great right before a concert.
Gary, I grew up singing along with the Beatles in the backseat of a Mustang, and now thanks to you, I'm in the driver's seat and I'm singing chants in Latin. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Gary.
Well, I'll tell you, when I started in 1990 in January, I never knew what I was in for, but I just have to say, and I know it sounds really corny, but vocal arts really changed my life. I mean, it really turned my little world upside down, and I think my first tour with a group in '91 to Russia and Poland was really it. And I can't really say just what it's done for me personally, and the growth in music and the opportunities that I've had. I really owe a lot to this group, and I feel real indebted to you for all that you've taught me, and you're a great guy. I love you, and thanks for the opportunities you've given me to stretch, and I thank all the vocal arts for the wonderful family relationships that I've experienced in the group. Thanks, Gary.
Well, Gary, it's been 10 years I've been part of this group, so half the existence I've been around, and just want you to know that it always has been a special thing for me, and I think you know that. And I really give you so much credit for making it happen for all of us and guiding us to the point we've been, that we've arrived at now. And so just a big thank you from me for my being able to be a part of this. I'd like to have to add a message to the folks in vocal arts because they've been such special friends and have been close through very difficult times, and I've just appreciated their presence, and especially when they sang for Howard's memorial service. There wasn't even a question, and it was a very high point for my family and myself. So just special folks, love you all.
I do want to tell you how much singing with vocal arts has meant to me and my family, what an important part of our life it is, and what an important part of my life you and Pat are, and how very much this whole organization and everyone in it have become like a second family to us, and that couldn't happen without you being at the director's chair. So thank you very much for all your dedication and all your time and all the love that you give to all of us. We love you too.
I try to plan every week around vocal arts because it's the center of my life away from home, and I force my clients to let me get home by the weekend so that I always have my Mondays and Tuesdays, Tuesday evenings especially, to spend with vocal arts. This is really the highlight of my life, and I love it, and I thank you very, very much for the experience.
You know, I've been in vocal arts for 3 years now, and I can't tell you what impact it's had in my vocal abilities and my directing abilities at the church up in Atascadero. The choir up there is just sounding phenomenal over what it had been just 3 years prior, and I owe it all to you. Thanks.
The fact that you've taken somebody like me on with a very rudimentary knowledge of music and brought me along has been much appreciated. I get a chance to do a lot of fun things, and individually and in little groups, But the best thing is kind of the teamwork, kind of like a basketball team, you know, going downfield, passing it back and forth, and hopefully we all end up at the basket at the same time or within an octave. So it's been a lot of fun, thanks.
It's it's hard for me to say it. I mean, it's close to my heart. I enjoy hanging out with you and being with you besides just singing in your choirs. So, thank you.
When I think about vocal arts in the last at least 10 years that I've been in it, might be even 11 now, I think about world tours and opportunities that I would never have been able to accomplish. I thought I would be a single mom for the rest of my life with no opportunities to do anything. I'd never own anything, I'd never go anywhere, I'd never be anything. And part of my awakening has been vocal arts, and part of that has been you, Gary, giving me a chance to just, you know, shine, really. And that has been a confidence builder, and it's been really, really good for me. And I think that my husband and I have grown a lot with this group, and I think that you, Gary, make it possible, because I think you are vocal arts.
And he is really the linchpin of this whole thing. 20 years of one man conducting and arranging and setting things up and directing the programming. And it's never the same. There's always kind of an original touch. And I think it's him, without taking anything away from you and the singers. And God, Barbara Hoff too, I know. I mean, they're all wonderful things, but without Gary, I don't think it would have worked. He had that continuing influence that long-time relationships create with organizations and with some people. I'm sure some of them have been there since the beginning. It's just a remarkable thing to see it happen, and it's so rewarding to see it happen, and to see it flourish, and to see it develop the style and the panache and also the substance that the Vocal Arts Ensemble has. And it's a tribute to San Luis Obispo County, because it's as much part of this county as the mission at this point. It's really an ethnic touch that operates in this area. We'd be poorer without it, I think, and without Gary. It wouldn't work without him, so I hope he stays around for a long time.
9 years of putting up with me. I sure appreciate it. Had some great times. I've done some great music, and I really do appreciate your friendship and your art. And thank you very much.
Well, Gary, was I a fool to leave for 6 whole years, or what? Yeah, I had some good singing experiences, but really, nothing as good as this. And I'm going to do this until I just can't sing anymore. Thank you very much.
Gary, Christine said I had to say something nice. So it's been a wonderful 20 years, and someday I'm going to teach you how to fish right, and we'll go out and catch fish, and then we can have a nice dinner again. But in the meantime, we'll just have to keep singing.
And basically what I want to say is, look, I'll watch, and I'll even follow your ictus anywhere.
I think the vocal arts are fantastic. We've been following them for years. But who's Gary? You know, they're just a group that fantastically talented people that really lead themselves. Gary who? Gary Lamprecht? Doesn't mean anything to me, but the group is fantastic. We're very fortunate to have them in our community, and they just seem to be getting... Gary who?
Gary Lamprecht.
Oh, okay. So someone has to carry the music.
Gary, it's been a long time since Long Beach City College and Wayne Guard, and then 12 years in vocal arts with you, and it's been a lot of fun, and thanks a lot. The tours were great.
Vocal arts has meant a lot to me. It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed how the group touches the audiences, it really brings meaning to the music. The tours have been great fun. It's a great group of people to be with. I'd have to say it's the most fun I've ever had standing up.
Uh-oh.
Surprisingly, every time. Surprisingly, every
Thank you very much.
And the rockets were there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Привет, Герри. Я с большим удовольствием приехал в Сан-Луис Обиспо и... Oh, I'm sorry. I started to speak Russian since I'm so excited and the few English words I used to know, I just forgot about that. I love you, Gary. I love your choir and I hope our contacts will be continued in near future. Good luck to you and to your choir.
The moving incidents have not necessarily been at concert times. The moving incidents in the Vocal Arts Ensemble have to do with the support that the members give to each other. And some of us have been through a lot of life changes, good times and bad times, and the group has kind of stood with each other. Those kinds of moving times are not necessarily musical, but they're reflected in the music.
I thank Vocal Arts for being there especially during the deaths of my brother and my father, which were pretty significant things in my life, and just for being there, and thanks.
Oh, are we on?
Yeah, we are.
Gary, you're the king of chicken fat. I mean schmaltz. You know how to stretch out a phrase and milk a phrase. I've learned a lot from you, Gary, musically. I really appreciate it. Best of luck.
Without further ado, I'd like to introduce a man who really needs no introduction. He's such a great man, he's actually been considered a continent by himself. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Luciano Pavarotti.
Mr. Lamprecht, one of the best things you always did with us as students at the high school was to try to pull some meaning out of the music that you taught us. With every piece that we did, there was something attached to it. It wasn't just notes on a page. And I've always taken that with me. In every group that I've sung after that, I've always tried to learn what the meaning of everything was that we were singing. And I have you to thank for that. Thank you.
Hi, Gary. I just wanted to say thanks for some of the best memories of my son Chris Hoffman's high school experience. The time I spent with him and the choir going to the Northern California competition, those beautiful voices, that will stay with me forever. And the faces of those kids watching you, it was an experience that transcended the common high school and experience and left us meaning for a long time. Thank you.
Gary, I first began to know you when you came to U Symphony and got those hardworking brass players to sing beyond their wildest dream. I've watched you make this community grow into a community that loves music. You've touched our hearts and our souls. What an ambassador you are for our community and for the world, and we love you and thank you. Bless you.
I just want to say hi to all my friends at Vocal Arts. What a great way to spend a couple of years in town. Gary, I'll love you forever. I keep that I Squeeze a Dime with the Vocal Arts on my mantelpiece, and I look at it almost every day. And I go past the picture that I have on the wall every day too. What a great time. I just am glad that I can leave a little something behind that you guys can practice in and perform in San Luis Obispo. Bye.
If somebody had told me when I married you what I was getting into with this,
I don't know what I would have done because I had no idea that we would have this together for 20 years. It's been really wonderful. It's added all kinds of different dimensions to our marriage. And lots of highs and lows, but mostly highs. And as an instrumentalist, I never dreamed that I'd be singing for 20 years in a choir with you, and it's been wonderful. We've had such wonderful times that other people just can't imagine because we had that kind of sharing with music in our lives together through bringing up our children and showing them that we could do that together. I think it added a whole new dimension to our lives as a family. And all I can do is say thanks for that because I had no idea when we got married 25 years ago that we would have all these joys together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. It isn't every day good fortune comes my way. I never thought the future would be fun for me. And if I had a bugle, I would blow it to add a sort of final victory touch. But since I left my bugle home, I simply have to say thank you very, very, very much.
On behalf of all the people who've assembled here, we would merely like to mention, if we may, that our unanimous attitude is one of lasting gratitude for what you friends have done for us today.